It was a cold October night in rural Pennsylvania. The road ahead was empty, and the only sound in the car was the soft hum of tires on the wet pavement. Mark, a graphic designer, was returning home after a long meeting in the city. His fiancée, Claire, was asleep in the passenger seat, curled up against the door. He decided to take a shortcut, a back road through the woods that the GPS promised would save 30 minutes. The path was narrow, the trees tightly packed, leaning in like they wanted to whisper secrets through the glass. Just a few minutes in, the GPS lost signal. The screen froze, then went black. And that's when the headlights flickered. The engine gave a low groan, then cut out completely. The car rolled to a silent stop in the middle of the road, swallowed by darkness. Mark stepped out to check under the hood. The air was unnaturally cold. Behind him, the trees stood still, too still. Not even a breeze. Not a single sound. Then Claire saw something. A man standing outside her window. Soaking wet, in an old flannel jacket. There was no car around. No flashlight. Just a blank stare and a crooked smile. Before Mark could speak to him, the man said something odd. He said the road eats batteries. And that they shouldn't stay long after midnight. Then he vanished into the woods without another word. They waited. Tried calling for help, but there was no signal. Tried starting the car again, but it wouldn't even click. That's when the radio came on. By itself. At first, just static. Then, whispering. Soft, almost like breathing. But it grew louder. And darker. Mark turned the radio off, but it wouldn't stop. Then came the scream. A high-pitched, distorted scream that filled the car. Suddenly, something scratched the roof. Hard enough to be heard inside. Then a loud thud landed on the hood. When Mark turned on the headlights, all he saw was fog. Thick, swirling fog. And just beyond it, two glowing eyes staring back. Then they vanished. Panic set in. Claire wanted to run. Mark hesitated, but the car was useless. They grabbed their coats and ran down the road, hoping to find help. But the fog was getting thicker. The forest darker. Somewhere behind them, they heard footsteps. And then, laughter. Not one voice. Many. Men. Women. Children. But there was no one around. That's when they saw the cabin. Old. Rotten. Barely standing. But it had 4 walls and a door. They ran inside and locked it behind them. Inside was dust and silence. Claire found something lying on the table. A photograph. It showed 2 people sitting in a car. Surrounded by fog. They looked just like them. Before they could speak, the windows shattered. The fog poured in like it was alive. And standing at the door, was the man in the flannel. They ran again. Back into the woods. But the laughter followed. The fog followed. It wasn't natural. And then, they saw it. Their car. Exactly where they'd left it. But it looked newer. As if time had been reset. They got inside, slammed the doors, and tried to breathe. Then they saw the handprints on the windows. From the inside, the engine was dead. The lights flickered. The radio turned on again. This time, the voice was clear. It said, "You never left." 1 week later, the authorities found the car. Engine fine. Battery fully charged. But the inside? Frozen. As if winter had lived inside the vehicle for years. There were handprints on every window. But no sign of Mark. No trace of Claire. Locals say strange things happen on that road. Radios turning on by themselves. Voices calling from the trees. Figures watching from the fog. And if you're unlucky enough to stop your car on that road on a cold October night, you might see a man and a woman. Sitting in a parked car. Staring. Waiting. Still trapped in that endless, chilling night.